It was just like in the canon. I won't recant everything. Just the right moment. After the masked man wanted to suck his sensei into his other world, Minato teleported away. Yellow Lightning's thoughts his spacetime techniques are far superior to second and mine. But the weakness of his technique is his speed. His technique is too slow. In such thoughts, Minato was working out a strategy for defeating the enemy. But then 10 meters away he appears. Are you Yucha Madara? No, Yucha Madara died years ago. That's impossible. Minato tried to clarify the enemy's identity, but answered his own question himself. I'm nobody, and my name is nothing. Just call me Toby. Minato didn't play a game of words with him, as there was no time for all that. There was still time to get to the aid of the village where all hell was going on right now. Minato threw a kunai at his head and they both lunged at each other. Minato's kunai already going through his enemy's head. This is the end, said the masked man, adjusting his chain to attack. But Yellow Lightning managed to outwit his opponent by teleporting to his kunai. Minato was able to catch him off guard. With a kick from the race engine, he struck him on the back, thereby severely pinning him to the ground, forcing him to lick the mother. That one survived, and was already standing on a branch. You deserve to be Hokage. He wanted to finish his sentence as he receives another blow to the heart. After the blow, some hieroglyphics appeared on his heart. How? The masked man was surprised. Kyuubi no longer obeys you. The masked man yelled out, clutching his head, and he yelled the following: Owudaweo did I Nataviravi. Minato, who was standing next to him, didn't understand that, and wasn't about to finish off his enemy. Minato-sensei, forgive me, sinner. I want to die by your hand. Minato was taken aback by this statement, as the stranger addressed him as a teacher. Minato-sensei, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm a fool. He then removes his mask, letting Sensei recognize himself. Minato recognized him, and simply refused to believe what he saw. How could he believe it? The kindest and most cheerful student brought so much headache. Obito, was that you? Surprised, Minato asked. Obito screamed and repented. After the blow to the heart, the seal controlling him was broken, and he himself didn't believe everything that was happening to him. He didn't believe in all his sinister creations either. He couldn't suspect that it was all under the pressure of the seal. The seal left by Madara was arranged exactly so. If it was broken, the seal holder would lose all memories associated with the sealer Madara. He wanted to go straight to him. Minato had roughly figured out why his apprentice was pulling off such shenanigans, because he was well aware of how his apprentice felt about his apprentice. He even managed to imagine himself in his place, and wondered if he would have gone the same way he did had the same thing happened to his wife as it had happened to Rin. So Minato didn't hold a grudge against him and forgave him. Oh, and Minato is too kind to hold a grudge against anyone. It's not for nothing that Obito, I'm not offended by you. Will you help me deal with Kyuubi? Obito was shocked by what he heard. He dreamed of the harshest punishments. He even wanted to suggest it, but it didn't happen. Then Obito calmed down and followed Sensei. With Obito's help, stopping Kyuubi was like two fingers on the pavement. He both tamed him and let him loose. After taking control of the fox again, Obito carried him outside the village. Sensei, what are you going to do? I want to seal it in my son. What, Sensei? Don't risk the men you hold dear. Let me destroy him. Obito, his death won't be long. He'll come back reborn. Keep him here. I'll be right back. Hi, said the student to his vanished sensei. Whether or not Minato heard him, we'll never know. Minato found himself at home. In the house he saw the following picture. His wife Kushina holding her son tightly in her arms, saying how much she loved him and told him not to be afraid. Kushina, I'm going to seal the nine-tail into Naruto. What? How dare you? I won't allow it. Kushina got so mad at her husband that her screams made the baby wake up and start crying. There is no other way out, said Minato, lifting Naruto in his arms. Oh, by the way, Kushina, would you like to see Obito? What? What are you talking about? Come with me and you'll see for yourself. After teleporting outside the village, Kushina was taken aback to see her pet. When Obito saw Kushina, he started apologizing. Kushina cried, since Obito was like a son to her, and now this. Minato summoned an altar and placed Naruto on it, then turned to Obito and asked him, Obito, go back to Konoha. No one has to know that you did this. Tell him you survived and recovered the right side of your body. Oh yeah? Take care of Naruto. Obito was already pretty freaked out. There were bad opinions about Sensei in his mind. Would the fourth Hokage himself entrust his son into the care of a villain? There's a hand on his face mentally. Obito decided to voice his opinion on the matter. As Sensei, I should be executed. Do you know what you're saying? Obito, never mind. Kushina always wanted our son to be as cheerful as you. To which Kushina smiled and nodded, then said, raise him to be as kind as you are. Minato-sensei, Kushina-san, you replaced my father and mother. I can't live with the fact that I personally let you die. I will seal the fox into a child myself. No, you had a dream of becoming Hokage. Become one so I would be proud of my apprentice. Kushina won't survive the extraction of the tailed one. Without Kushina I see no point in life. Minato smiled. Obito didn't hold back tears as he looked at his homeland, at times looking at his sensei. The grief was over the fact that his sensei and his wife would die before his eyes, at his own hands. Obito couldn't help it anymore and started squeezing crocodile tears out of his eyes, as if someone had punched Rasengan in the eye. He wiped his eye with tears and replied, Minato-sensei, Kushina-sen, your order will be carried out. Minato sealed the tail and into the baby, and the baby's parents died. The altar was gone, and the baby began to fall to the ground. But Obito came up and caught the baby. Don't cry, Naruto. Forgive me. Obito's tears fell on the baby. Obito then tracked down Hiruzne and headed with him to the Hokage residence. Hiruzne couldn't recognize Obito, understandably. So much time has passed, and also old age is no joy. Lord Third, it would be hard to believe what I'm about to tell you, but I am Yucha Obito, a student of Minato-sensei and Kakashi Hideki's teammate. Do you remember me? I remember. But how did you survive? A long story short, I was able to escape the rocks, but the right side of my body. Hiruzne suspected that things were not so clean here. When Minato told about the death of Yucha Obito, it was abundantly clear that it was impossible to survive after such a thing. But if you survived, you certainly didn't survive alone. I see, said Sartari with a stony face. What kind of child did you bring? This is Naruto, the son of Minato-sensei and Kushina-san. I came just in time. I helped contain the QB. But the kid's parents sacrificed themselves by sealing Fox into him. Sensei wanted me to keep an eye on him. Obito found it very hard to lie, but it was Sensei's last order to give the student a second chance. That's it. Then you should be rewarded, said Hokage, standing up from his seat. No, you don't have to. The only reward I want is, can I become a Konoha shinobi again? Hiruzuno was already standing next to him playing with Naruto. Just this. You're modest, that's for sure. But the reward will be more serious. You will be the Junin of Konoha, just like your friends Kakashi. Gay, you shouldn't have. Sandime, it don't be modest. You saved Konoha. Thank you, Mr. Third. May I go? Obito was about to leave when Hiruzuno called out to him. Oh wait, Obito? Do you know where Minato's house is? A third, please don't do that. Obito, are you going to live on the street? No. Why? I'm going back home. Your house is gone. Sorry, your neighborhood was torn down a long time ago. There's another building there now. So take the keys, if you say so. Here's more. Here's the address of the house. Thank you, Hiruzuno-sama. Thank you. After leaving the office, Obito headed for the house listed on the paper. Walking through Konoha, he stopped at the children's world and bought everything he needed there: diapers, feeds, and everything for Naruto. At the checkout, he crossed paths with old acquaintances. Obito didn't want to show his face yet. A lot of questions would have been raised. He was only thinking of Naruto right now. Luckily, they didn't recognize him, but they were staring intently into his face. And they were Asuma and Koronai. He reached the house. In front of it was a huge mansion. There was a yard with a playground, with slides and all sorts of swings. All in all, it was a whole playground, with a lot of kids' hobby equipment. Minato and Kushina were really looking forward to their firstborn, and got ready. Obito shed another tear at the loss of those close. Do you like it, Naruto? The kid didn't answer, as he was sleeping. Of course. What could he answer if he still can't talk? Obito entered the house and started looking for the most suitable room. And he found such a room. Naruto's parents had taken care of that too. He walked into the room. The room was bright and beautiful. Even though it was night out, the room was bright because there was bright blue wallpaper on the walls, illuminating the room in the light of the moon. Obito saw the crib and laid Naruto down. Obito quietly moved everything he bought from the store into the room, and Obito stood by the window for a while, laying down on the floor next to Naruto. He was remembering today's incident. He was hiding such a secret from the village, it shouldn't come out. But closer to dawn, Obito fell asleep. But Naruto, with his needs, prevented it from happening normally. But Obito was only happy about that, and was happy to clean up after Naruto.